Hello, this is Culture Mosaic and it's great to have you back with us this week. How do you often introduce and boost the images of your homeland to potential visitors around the world? In a mountainous commune of Hà Giang, Vietnam's northernmost province, people who were only used to farming are now learning to do just that with the help of their phones. Meanwhile, a group of youngsters in the central city of Huế would take people on special trips to delve into the citadel's culture and history. What about someone who has made this country their second home? An American painter has been drawing inspiration from Vietnamese mythology and introducing them to international friends. What an exciting journey we've got in store for you today. Let's start. A group of youngsters spread love for Huế citadel through special journeys. American abstract painter found inspiration in Vietnamese poetry and mythology. And tourism thrives despite hardship in a remote northern commune thanks to locals' determination to learn. Let's start with some news from Vietnam's culture scene. A video titled Vietnam Travel to Love, Wonders of Vietnam has been launched by the Vietnam National Administration of Tourism to promote beautiful tourist destinations in the country. The video clip features Vietnam's stunning landscape and majestic wonders which hold impressive and unforgettable experiences for visitors. In 1 minute and 31 seconds, viewers are offered a brief glimpse of renowned places such as Bản Dốc Waterfall in Cao Bằng Province and Tràng An Scenic Landscape Complex in Ninh Bình Province, which is known as Hạ Long Bay on land, and its numerous caves, mountains, trees, and historical relics. It also showcases the two UNESCO-recognized World Cultural Heritages, the ancient capital of Huế and Mỹ Sơn Sanctuary in Quảng Nam. The video cleverly shows off the unique natural and cultural heritage of Vietnam, not only tantalizing viewers but also encouraging them to explore and experience these places. A hot air balloon festival kicked off in Cửa Lò town, Nghệ An province for the first time ever, creating a new weekend destination where tourists can come and enjoy the favorable weather. At the festival, visitors were privy to exciting hot air balloon performances. The festival was part of a series of activities that aim to stimulate tourism demand in the province. The ancient town of Hội An in Vietnam's central province of Quảng Nam has snagged the 20th spot in a new global listing of the 25 best cities as chosen by readers of US magazine Travel and Leisure. According to the magazine, apart from its distinct architecture, the town is also famous for its delicious street food, making it an ideal destination to explore. Travel and Leisure also selected Phú Quốc, Vietnam's largest island of the southern province of Hà Giang, as one of the 25 best islands in the world. Readers' enthusiasm for the island stems from its white sand beaches and delectable food. Hanoi has been rated as one of the world's 6 best places to explore by bicycle, according to a survey of travelers commissioned by the online travel agency Booking.com. The site says the Vietnamese capital of Hanoi, known for its centuries-old architecture, lakes, parks, and over 600 temples and pagodas, offers a network of fantastic cycling paths that allow travelers to explore the city alongside locals on bicycles. Visitors can cycle through the Old Quarter, which is home to an array of restaurants and street-side food stalls that serve traditional Vietnamese dishes. A virtual exhibition titled Indochina, the Wonderland has just been launched by the National Archives Center 1, featuring precious documents on the famous tourist and resort destinations built by the French in 3 Indochina countries since the 19th century. The virtual exhibition takes visitors on a train that departs from Hanoi Station, with each carriage representing the 3 Indochinese countries, namely Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. Aside from popular wonders such as Hạ Long Bay, the Ho Dynasty's citadel, and the Angkor complex in Cambodia, visitors can also see rare photos and blueprints of famous tourist resorts in Sapa, Tam Đảo, Ba Na, Đà Lạt, Sầm Sơn, Nha Trang, and Phú Quốc. The exhibition is hosted on the website and Facebook page of the National Archives Center 1. In the ancient capital of Huế, 5 youngsters who are passionate about culture and history have banded together in a group called Journeys in Huế. Over the past 2 years, the group has been diligently promoting the culture, history and beauty of Huế to many other young people by taking them to beautiful places where they can meet Huế locals and learn about the life and culture values of the ancient capital. Now come join us in Culture and Lifestyle to learn more about this interesting story.
For more than a month, Journeys in Huế group regularly visited the home of công tôn nữ Trí Huệ, 101 years old this year, the last artisan who ever sewed áo dài and royal pillows for Đức Từ Cung, mother of King Bảo Đại.
Khấu gội nhiều không? Bữa nay khấu gội nhiều không?
Có, nhưng làm chậm rồi.
The group then posted articles about Huế royal pillows with many details that few people know about, such as a handmade product from the process of making pillows, stuffing, hand stitching, and putting on a pillowcase outside. A royal pillow weighing up to 2.5 kilograms has been made for 7 to 10 days by Trí Huệ and her family.
Mình ấn tượng với bài viết về gối tựa của Johnny in Huế bởi vì cái gối được làm ra rất là công phu đặc biệt và lịch sử của chiếc gối thì rất là thú vị và mọi người trong Johnny in Huế đã làm một bài viết rất là tốt, rất là tường tận về chiếc gối.
Mình muốn lan tỏa cho các bạn biết là ở Huế có những cái con người đặc biệt như vậy, có cái câu chuyện như vậy. Và đó là chính là những cái con người đang giữ cái hồn cho Huế. Nhưng thời gian không chờ đợi ai cả. Và một thời gian nữa thì những cái con người này họ cũng sẽ mất. Thì tụi mình muốn càng sớm càng tốt, lưu giữ lại những hình ảnh, coi lại những cái video, ghi lại những câu chuyện để giới thiệu cho các bạn để gìn giữ.
Trong từ ký có rất trên Huế là đặt nhiều lên. Và cả nhà cùng chung lại nội ngoại đều làm để bạn gối ở rất trên Huế biết giúp đỡ, biết san sẻ, hỗ trợ cho mẹ có được phòng trưng bày. Điều đó là không riêng chi mẹ vui mà cả nhà đều vui.
5 people come from different places, but their passion for history, culture, and love of Huế brought them closer to establish Journeys in Huế. In February 2020, the group decided to build a fan page Journey in Huế on the Facebook platform to tell special stories in this ancient capital.
Có cái sự khác biệt của Journey in Huế với các nhóm khác á. Ngoài cái sự đầu tư về hình ảnh, về cái mặt nội dung thì bên mình cũng cố gắng đưa đến mọi người một cái cách nhìn làm sao có thể sát nhất. Đó là cái nội dung luôn có sự đầu tư, nghiên cứu, muốn lan tỏa cái văn hóa, cái lịch sử thiết thực nhất, một cách gần giống như là chuẩn xác nhất cho tới mọi người.
The Journeys in Huế group has brought to readers hundreds of impressive posts, including an introduction to the art of mirror paintings, the mandarins at the Mausoleum of the Cuisine and Artisans' Stories in Huế. Each article is carefully prepared by the members for many days or even months, going to many different places to learn, researching many different sources, talking to local people and cultural researchers. Journeys in Huế has become a site specializing in promoting the beauty of Huế, with more than 40,000 likes for people to have a deeper look at this land.
Mình cảm nhận được một cái sự năng động, trẻ trung, một sự nhiệt huyết của những bạn trẻ đang làm cái dự án này. Tại vì mọi người biết đấy, kiến thức thì rất là khô khan, nhưng mà qua những bài viết của các bạn ấy thì mình cảm thấy nó rất là dễ thấu vào bên trong, và mình cảm thấy rất là bổ ích cho các bạn đam mê lịch sử, đặc biệt là một những hướng dẫn viên tương lai như mình.
Cảm thấy mình rất là trân trọng cái cuộc gặp gỡ và hội ngộ này, bởi vì tất cả đều có sự đồng điệu với nhau, đồng điệu và dẫn đến một cái đam mê, đó là tìm hiểu và lan tỏa cái niềm đam mê về Huế cho đến với tất cả mọi người. và điều đó cũng giúp cho mình có cái quãng đời sinh viên thật là rực rỡ.
If you asked any expat artist currently based in Vietnam what their inspirations are, you'll most likely get the answer that it is Vietnam itself. Whether it's the landscape, the human, or just the language, there's always something to take away from and turn into artwork. For Vietnam-based American painter David Evans, it's no exception either. However, the way he found inspiration from Vietnamese poetry and mythology sets his abstract art apart from many of his contemporaries. What makes his art unique and special? We'll meet with David himself and find out through a story of inspiration and art in this week's On the Mic.
Words, what they do is they touch the senses of the imagination. Words themselves become the brushstroke. And, it's not a pencil that makes the line, it's language that makes the line.
And with that philosophy, David Evans has brought his fascination of text and shapes of words into his artwork, creating a style uniquely to himself. Recently that style had been brought out in its full glory in an exhibition named Scrolls, in that, words and texts are a prominent feature, some of which shapes the paintings itself. However, there's a little fact that not many people know of. The inspiration behind most of these works came from Vietnamese poetry and myths.
So thank you so much, David, it's so great to have you on the show.
No, it's my pleasure.
Yes. So first question, congratulations on your recent exhibitions. And I have to ask, you have multiple exhibitions and collaboration works in Vietnam, but what makes Scrolls stand out from other exhibitions?
So, first of all, the name of the exhibition, Scroll. It can be a noun and a verb, right? So you can have it as a noun where you have a scroll, right? An ancient text that unravels. Or it could be in the modern sense, which is on your smartphone, scroll, right?
Yeah.
Because what it explored was the past and its relationship with the present, you see, or ancient and modern. And Scroll was really powerful, I believe, because it did not so much tell a story as much as it used story to ask questions. And the primary question that it asked was, what is Vietnamese modernity? Because up until that point, and even now, you often hear a lot of people use the word modern and Western as synonyms. And that's just not the case, right? Like each culture, each nation, people have their own modernity. And Scroll was just a way using past. Like how do people integrate the past to create their modernity now?
When you speak about Scroll, you cannot miss the words, right? The text that is in the scroll, which is something that you feature a lot in your painting. It seems like a common theme throughout all of your exhibitions and all of your paintings. So what does words means to you? And how do you use it? And what kind of story are you telling through those words?
So words, what they do is they touch the senses of the imagination. They touch the senses of the heart, right? They're not operating in this three-dimensional space. They're non-dimensional because they're fully in the imagination. So when you put text or words or language on a painting, each individual is seeing that painting utterly different. And that's the power of words. Like words themselves become the brushstroke, right? And it's not a pencil that makes the line, it's language that makes the line. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I use words, because I want to hit the imagination, not so much the actual physical senses. For example, the work Metamorphosis, that's the name of the work. In one sphere of the work, you have derivations of Greek, Nordic, even East African mythology. And then in the other sphere, you have these kind of diluted headlines from news or Twitter accounts. And it shows the digression of communication, the digression of how we communicate our ideals, our values.
The sound came from Brooklyn, the story from the Bronx, the color came from France, and the feeling from Vietnam. These are the preface on David Evans's biography, which in itself already showcased the different places he has lived through and the rich experience that this American painter has accumulated over years working in different art scenes. Growing up working in New York, moving to France later to find his path, but only after he set foot in Vietnam, did he find the urge to create the art he is creating today.
So obviously you've been all around the world and you took your art with you everywhere. So what is the experience making art in Vietnam compared to other countries you've been to?
Because the thing with Vietnam, like with the people I interact with, interactions tend to be subtle.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like New York, you know. New York's quite in your face, you know.
Yeah.
If someone inspires you, it's like, bam.
Yeah.
Like they're a force, you know. France is the same, really. Vietnam is more subtle. You know, it's more like a collection of experiences that accumulate into an expression. You know, maybe I meet one artist, he invites me to his studio, and there's something that he's doing that I really like. Then the lady down the street who makes the best banh mi, that's sort of a collection, right? You know, there's a connection that's made. You know, so it's really a collection of experiences, and that's my experience in Vietnam. Vietnam has a pulse, you know, that its appearance is utterly different than New York, but it's got that same essence, like this pulse, like it's alive, it's breathing, it's living, you know, it's really going. When I was in France, the history, the story, the mythology, it's all in a museum. It's behind glass. It's old, it's done. It's something to be looked at from afar. Whereas, I feel like in Vietnam, people live out their mythology. They live out their story. They live out the folk tales. And it can be in the form of an obvious way of, you know, burning votive paper to an ancestor, which I find absolutely remarkable. That's something I value as well, ancestry. You know, or it can be as subtle as just what people are saying to you. Right? That mythology is still in the society.
So the combination of modernity and the past, the legend and the myth and the modern devices is what is one of your common theme of your painting. So when you come to Vietnam, how does that theme manifest into your art?
How does that theme manifest? That's really a good question. You know, as you said, it's like I do incorporate a plethora of mythology, story, folktale, poetry into the work, right? But the most powerful way that Vietnamese literary history has influenced me is through its poetry. There's one painting I did of a bass player, very, very New York, bass player in Brooklyn with music, jazz and to be specific. But one particular line of Vietnamese poetry was really the feeling behind that. And I couldn't tell you who it was or what the name of the poem was, but it was something along the lines of, the immortal hand tips the wine of sin. I have no idea what that means, but I love it. You feel it, right? There's a lot of different interpretations, and that feeling it gives you, I incorporate into my work. And so without Vietnamese poetry, because I live in Vietnam, I think my works would look very different.
So what is it that lies ahead of you? Do you have any future plans, any future exhibitions, or any future endeavors that the audience may be looking forward to?
I've been studying a lot of architecture lately, and I want to do an exhibition. I want to do it in November. I want to do an exhibition where I use, as you see here, the glass here, where you can see your reflection, right? The time of day, that looks different, depending on the time of day, right? And you can even use this to cast shadows. So the words will cast shadows, and you can read the words as a shadow. And I want to create something which uses light and language as a material itself. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I want to do that, right? Now, the details, how it looks, how it'll be, I don't know. But I will know, because that's what I'm working on now.
Well, thank you so much, David, for spending your time with us today, and we hope that all your future endeavors will receive much attention, not only from Vietnam, but from the international community as well. And I hope that your journey in Vietnam will continue, and you will continue to be inspired by everything Vietnam.
Over in the mountainous commune of Phương Tiến in Vị Xuyên district, Hà Giang province, residents traditionally work in the paddy fields for a living. But now they've had a different source of income, which is promoting tourism. They've learned how to film video clips or live stream with their phones to showcase their hometown and have even coordinated with tour agents to bring more visitors to the region. Their efforts to reinvigorate their homeland are the story of this week's Connecting Cultures.
This is Cấn Văn Hiển, the Vice Chairman of Phương Tiến Commune's People's Committee, Vị Xuyên District, Hà Giang Province. Though working in a managerial position, he's sometimes seen with the hem of his trousers rolled up while walking into the paddy field to film the scenery or the lives and work of people in the commune.
Tôi tên là Cấn Văn Hiển. Hiện tại tôi đang là Phó Chủ tịch Ủy ban Nhân dân xã Phương Tiến. Công việc của tôi thì cũng khá là bận rộn. Tuy nhiên là trong những lúc rảnh rỗi hoặc là những lúc mà đi công tác lên các thôn vùng cao của xã Phương Tiến, thì khi mà trên đường đi công tác ấy, thấy những cảnh đẹp thì tôi thường dừng lại và sử dụng điện thoại của mình để ghi lại những cái khoảnh khắc đẹp đó, đăng lên các cái trang mạng xã hội, lên Facebook để quảng bá và giới thiệu hình ảnh của quê hương mình.
The mountainous village of Safin is breathtakingly beautiful. A waterfall that flows all year round, magnificent terrace fields, rustic steel houses, and Shantuit tea, the local specialty. There are so many wonderful things to see, but this place wasn't visible in the tourism map of Vietnam because it's difficult to reach and not much attention was paid to tourism promotion. But recently, more and more people have known about the village thanks to a Facebook page created by the commune's People's Committee.
Đây trang fanpage của chúng mình nhập lên thì có những cái lượng tương tác, có những clip thì có những lượng tương tác rất lớn. Ví dụ như là cái clip mình đăng đợt vừa rồi thì có khoảng gần 4.000 lượt xem và cũng có vài trăm lượt chia sẻ.
Anh ơi, anh buồn không có cái một like.
Có cái một like. Có những cái clip mình đăng lên mình nghĩ là nó sẽ được rất nhiều tương tác, nhưng mà nó lại không được như mình kỳ vọng. Có những cái clip mình có thể là đăng lên để gọi là cho mọi người được biết đến thôi, mình cũng không hy vọng nó được nhiều tương tác, nhưng mà những cái clip đó nó lại có được nhiều tương tác hơn cả những cái clip mà mình trông đợi.
In addition to promoting tourism, this Facebook page helps people understand the public's taste and demand so they can develop suitable infrastructure and tourism programs.
Thực ra là đối với cương vị của một phó chủ tịch xã thì trước đây thì những cái hình ảnh đó thì có lẽ là người dân địa phương, đặc biệt là bà con vùng cao thì cũng ít gặp. Ở những cái dịp nào đó thì mình có thể gặp gỡ bà con để giải thích cho đấy cái việc cá nhân tôi làm như vậy là nhằm cái mục đích gì, nó góp phần đem lại những cái kết quả tốt đẹp ra sao, thì mình nghĩ là dần dần bà con sẽ hiểu và mình nghĩ là bà con cũng đang hiểu dần.
Từ 1-2 năm nay, dân bà con đã nhận thức được cái tương là bản sắc dân tộc ở đây. Bà con cũng rất là mong muốn là có một cái chương trình về du lịch ở đây.
The local farmers used to be shy, but now they've become familiar with promoting tourism on social media. Some of them will confidently stand in front of the phone camera to become a tour guide who's showcasing the beauty of their homeland. Thanks to their determination to learn, they've awakened the tourism potential of their home commune by connecting with tour agents and customers and have achieved initial success.
Hà Giang xin chào.
And that's the end of our show, but you can always watch it again online via our mobile app VTV Go from App Store or Google Play, or our YouTube channel at youtube.com/VTV4Go. Tune in next week for more culture stories. Thanks for watching and goodbye.